leaderboard.
And don't forget, guys, once this game is over, it might be the end of NAE East Heat 1, but it's not the end of the action for FNCS. We still got more as we see AV pick off 2 on the side of the map at Misty Meadows. We've still got more. Here's the schedule on the left side of your screen. We've finished both, we'll be finishing Europe Heat 2 and NAE East Heat 1, but that's not the end for either of those. Europe will kick back up tomorrow morning. And then NA West is starting right after this, which will be covered over on the Practiceserver channel. And then we'll be rebroadcasting that here, so you don't have to change channels. You don't have to do anything. We got the drops enabled over here as well. But when we're going to cut that off and go right back into NA East Heat 2, while you can still follow the NA West Heat if you want over on the Practiceserver. If that makes sense, press 1. If it doesn't, then I'm sorry, I cannot help you.
The basic thing is the TLDR, we have a lot of overlap, just like these duels are overlapped in game, just like Ykel has a tough spot in trying to get a few points off this beam.
No shotgun. He has to do this. He has to pressure. He has to make sure that they're both low as they approach. He does have the band-aids, but it's full metal, and that's it. Ykel and Jayth are not qualifying because they lose at least. But anyways, there's circumstances that you can't even control, so.
Moving onwards.
I don't know what to say. Yeah, let's do.
Yeah, Commandment High Sky, and then to just wrap up on the point, the heats are overlapped. Europe, if you guys didn't know, has a different time zone than NA East. So, because of this, some heats are overlapped. You can check out Practiceserver channel and Ballatw channel and mine as well to see exactly who is playing where. We're covering a little bit more of NA East. They're covering a little bit more of EU as they happen.
Or if you're just making a fool of yourself after winning a fight off spawn when you're not even qualifying right now.
Oh my.
Cashcat and them, they were close. But if you can't beat Tfue and Scope. Oh my goodness, don't tell me that he's about to key Lyrison and Colorful as well. And if you can't mix and match your styles, then can you actually perform when all is on the line? Because when it comes down to grand finals, you're going to need to have a good mix. And that's why I think Scented and Edgy have such a good case. But same with Tfue and Scopes. You got to be a jack of all trade.
Team thus far that's ready. We have some griefage, or not even griefage, just casual gameplay from Tfue here. My question that just came up to mind. Tfue and Scoped at their prime, as in right now, versus Tfue and Cloaksy at their prime.
Tfue and Scoped. Unless it's on land. But, you know, we don't have lands, so.
That's true.
I'm sorry, but Scoped is a monster. And Tfue is turning into a monster these days. Yeah, it might not look like the craziest out of Tfue, but my man is still hanging. Even in cash cups, even in, obviously in FNCS and end games.
I think when someone doesn't stream, you never get to see them play. And obviously when, like, imagine you never saw Som stream ever and just knew that he played off a sword, played off of ballers, didn't know the prestige behind the brain, right? Like, yeah. Fatch is very similar into the sense that he knows what to use properly, knows where to rotate, and play the meta properly. Like, it's unfortunately right now not the best rotations around the box because he gets picked out, but in general 40 points off the heat. Nick as well trying to go for shots. These guys are a good duo and know how to play the meta, know how to play the game.
Oh my goodness, Tfue and Cloud now in a fight against the team that we saw come out of Misty Meadows. It's Polarized and Kado, and Tfue has HP, but Cloud doesn't. He's got to take this basically on his own shoulders right now and make sure he can at least deny while Cloud can heal up. And they drop down. Now Tfue low as well. 28 points for Cloud and Tfue. If they lose this fight, they are out. They're not qualifying for tomorrow.
And Polarize and Kato are kind of the Grim Reapers of Game 6. Already taken out Seam, who was at 20 points, had a pedestal to kind of pop off from. Them being at 14, I mean, they're doing things right, getting into these mid-game fights, winning, moving up the leaderboard, but at a cost of multiple different teams who are above them. They're essentially fighting up top on the leaderboard time and time again in all these fights, and it's a good idea because a bunch of these duos might be playing a little bit too passively, possibly not saying scared, but a little bit on their back foot, waiting for the end game.
Here. And I don't think Cloud has anything left, and it's a 5-tick, so they're done for. And that's the end of their season. F's in the chat for Tfue and Cloud. They looked so good early on.
Good practice for finding their way off of tough spots, but we talk about why the server is at 44 people left alive just at the fourth circle. It's because duels like this at the low point thresholds are finding any ways to claw all the way back up top. Doubt and Freistarama right now I don't think are up top at all in points, possibly bottom 40, bottom 50. And Doubt messing up an edit going to cost him a lot of his HP. AV coming in from the back on the same wall by himself, gets that pickup, and Freis gets taken out in a matter of seconds.
What?
See the skill disparity.
7 eliminations, and Chap just supporting him from the back there. My man AV is on a tear. And he's activated, I guess, because not only is this a cash cup spot, but it's also the last game and they've already qualified and they're just W King at this point. So man, oh man, are things starting to finally look good for Chap and AV? And there was the question for so long today, but last game they finally shut us up. Here it is, Colorful and Lyrison, 25 points, and they're focusing Chap and AV, and there's a big RPG onto AV. They could find 2 eliminations here. And wow, it's not actually Colorful and Lyrison who get it, but AV goes down. It's now just all the Chap. And how much does Chap actually have? And can he actually make it in? Colorful's making a play for the loot here, which I find surprising because of how many people were spraying at them that entire time. Oh no!
There's a guarantee on the loot because these guys, I think, watch that fight break down. They know there's about 2 duels worth of match there, as long as AV's down, but an overreach possibly. Now they have to commit to it. Maybe even go and storm. No, they're going for harpoons.
High Sky and Commandment still alive. Casker.
Leo and Gandhi.
Leo and Gandhi. Acorn and Jack, who I believe, have clinched. I'm very focused on High Sky and Commandments. Acorn and Jack have clinched, yes, before this game was done. And a good pad from Colorful. He does make it in. That looked a little weird, but I'm sure it was just a glide on his... No way!
Not like
you
this!
You get onto the roof, and you don't realize that it's just awkward to build a box on the roof, and you go down because of that to a heavy sniper. What? They can work this. They go out to the side, looking for a gap to find this... The slow pad? No! What? A flub again, High Sky. They do get towards zone, but the canceled launch pad, essentially, they barely get anything out of that. They're gonna have to use another one, and he gets beamed at the same time. He does get underneath the pad, or underneath the builds, and is now able to build out himself a box. He is in 6 zone, but at what cost, and where's Commandment?
This is a nail biter on every single POV. I'm seeing plays that are so unfortunate, but at the same time saved. And on the next side of the box, oh my god, I got scared. Wasn't sure if that was Commandment or another duo. They have a 3rd launch pad to use, and so many mats, and once again, High Sky gets blocked, but possibly a good block, because he's right with Commandment. A shorter pad, but oh my god. My emotions are being played with, and these guys are not playing a game. This is absolutely war. On height, it's Kato and Polarized with an RPG and a minigun, radiated silver, waiting off in the zone. Can he pump up?
And Lyrison just found the final on Nosh and Chaotic, but then goes down in 30th to the hands of Pans, who's at 34th and has just qualified with that as well. And we're getting close to the top 10. Meanwhile, up on high ground, you called it. It's Kato and Polarized, who started off by W King, and they're now here and possibly pushing themselves up. There, Command and High Sky break through in the top 10 with an elimination as well. The drum gun and minigun pressure combined to find them 2 for High Sky, and they have now done it. 34. It's not going to be a finals without High Sky and Commandments. We're going to go back to the squads days and see if they can start to show us what they really have in store. Polarized finding another one too.
And the midpoint dream starts to survive, but can that one peasant story from 0 points to hero, can Kato and Polarized from 14 bump themselves all the way up to qualification? It'll take a 20-point game. We know already how much they've dropped down, but now High Sky's online and Commandment's in position to get height on Polarized, who blocks it off with a Dimmadome, but then once again sits up again. Accept is on from the backside with the grappler. Gets up 3 different times, hits a big pump, is trying for it again, gets blocked. It's a height fight, and Polarized wins it. Down at low ground, though, Acorn at 19 or 39 points. He's going to be big chilling. That's a POV we saw way out from the beginning. Commandment all the way up top, looking actually from the bottom at a shot with RPGs. Polarized getting absolutely destroyed by all the pressure. Just with dominant, aggressive performance, we'll be sitting at 51 points in first place.
And you can't forget about the second place 1v1 that Scoped had in towards one of those last final games against P-God and Elige.
Very proud of both these duels for coming all the way through. This is the moment, though. The second page, the qualifiers, 12th place. It's going to be Nosh and Chaotic and Lyricin and Colorful. 30 points was enough for this duo to fly by, but at a big and heavy cost. It was a 3-way tie